Hello, this is Julia Bushkova, and today I want to address a very important topic regarding the bow hand and the bow, and that is the usage of contact point, or contact points rather, or sound points or sounding points. All of those words mean one and the same thing. I call them contact points now. So to sum up what we usually do with the bow while we're playing, the bow sits in one place. For if you're a beginner, your bow should sit in one place right in the middle here. Okay, so parallel to the bridge, and in good order you will have good mezzo forte, and that's what we do when we first start playing violin. Our goal is to be really good in the middle part of the bow, gradually spreading to the other parts of the bow, and being completely parallel to the bridge. Okay, I will do another video if we need to of how you stay parallel to the bridge. But today we're talking about contact points. That contact point, the middle one, it will be number 3. And I will tell you why. Because we will number them, I will number them for you starting from the close to the bridge, but not on the bridge. So on the bridge it will be sul ponticello, and we are not on the bridge, we are close to it. Okay, so this is very close to the bridge, not going on the bridge, sounding very loud, projecting. So that would be contact point number 1. Contact point number 5 will be on the other side of the spectrum, and it will be close to the fingerboard, but not on the fingerboard. Again, this is fingerboard, and so if you're here somewhere, it will be sul tasto, and here we are right before it, and so that will be your number 5 contact point. That contact point doesn't take pressure at all. It's a very light one. And again, the goal, of course, is for the bow to remain parallel, which you need to practice. And then 5, 1, obviously in the middle will be 3, and then in the middle of these two obviously is number 4, and here is number 2. So why is it good to think contact points or sounding points rather than just don't play on the fingerboard or don't play on the bridge, which actually was the way I was raised. When I was raised in Moscow, in our school, we didn't know about contact point numbers. I started using them myself in my teaching, and then realized also, belatedly, reading good books, like a book of Carl Flesch, that he was using that system already. And later, of course, we know that a lot of people use the system, a lot of good musicians and pedagogues, teachers. So it's very useful because it gives you a good focus. You think of the bow having a note to play, just like you think about fingers playing notes, right? So if here you know that you go onto the D, let's say you want to have a D, and you will play the D, but if you play that is not a D, it's a D sharp out of tune, and you hear it, and you will of course correct it because the D is there. Well, for the bow, it should be very similar. We should really know in which part here we want to play for which color. Colors and dynamics. Dynamics and colors are the two things that are managed by the correct contact point usage. And of course, when we play, if I start a note, I'm playing something and I... Let's say I stop here. Yes, you see? Right now, my bow is at a slight angle, and it does slide. It's because I wanted to do diminuendo. I could do diminuendo this way, just to use less bow, but you hear how the sound becomes? Not a very good quality, very superficial and almost metallic. We don't want that. We change contact point. So you do have an opportunity to move from one contact point to the other, and unfortunately sometimes it happens without our wanting to do that. And let me show you a bad example of sliding from one contact point to another, which happens to beginner players especially. So Every time I go to the tip right now, my bow is basically on the fingerboard, and you can see the direction is not parallel at all. So what happens? It's clearly, it's not where it's supposed to be. If I want to do diminuendo and then continue there, I will move myself into that contact point, even out the bow, make it parallel again in that contact point, and have a nice pianissimo there, if that's what I need in the piece. Okay? So in other words, first things first, we need to be able to play with the bow being perfectly parallel to the bridge, of course, and then you go one step further and learn how to do it in 5 different places between the bridge and the fingerboard, as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. All right? And then your playing will really, really open up and benefit from lots of colors and very good dynamic changes. I hope it was helpful. Good practicing to you. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you later.